What's up, guys? Z here. Today, I wanted to talk about
Mega Man X.
this one. Thing is, I'm not really a YouTuber or a streamer or anything like that. I just found a glitch I really enjoyed in Mega Man X.
One of my favorite games.
I make electronic music. But just in case anyone did want to see this, I figured I would show it off. So without any further delay, let's get right into it. So, if it's your first time seeing this, you're probably thinking to yourself, and if you're anything like my buddy who was over, you're probably saying, but he's American, not a robot penguin, so he just said,
Hey, how'd you get all the weapons and stuff on the first level?
and I said,
I don't know.
the first time I fought Chill Penguin, our projectiles met, the game froze up, fight was over. I'd won. I still got his weapon, but then it sent me back to the beginning of the game. I got to play the first level with the shotgun ice, which really seems to mess with Vile's AI here. It's also one of my favorite weapons, and for sure the coolest color palette on Mega Man. X. Mega Man X. What is this? I love him. When I first recorded this footage, I had no idea what was going on. My buddy was over. We've been best friends for like 25 years. This is one of the oldest games we remember playing together, and any little detail we find in it is interesting. We couldn't understand why, but we kept getting sent back to fight Vile over and over again. Can't say I'm doing the best this time. I'm well aware that you can't defeat Vile. Well, on one hand, I guess, you always win. Well, Zero wins. Think about it. Dude's a complete stud. Zero always wins.
Except when his girlfriend died really bad.
Program errors, short circuits in the electronic brain.
Extensive research.
Done via YouTube comments led me to discover others with the same problem, but this glitch doesn't appear to be super well documented, and a lot of this is pretty old. It's interesting to me that it keeps the same color for the dialogue window. Solutions involve changing the ROM or updating your emulator, but apparently this has happened on Karts too, so it must go deeper than that. I don't have the answers, but if you can get your hands on the correct ROM, try this yourself. It seems to happen reliably when you get a capsule from Dr. Light and use the escape unit. Check it out. So I'm back at the start of the level, same game with all my weapons, but I lost my boots. At this point, you might be curious as to what about this bug is so good. And well, there's two main aspects outside the little visual glitches. First of all, when you decide to play the game without the boots or other upgrades, it starts to feel like a different game. I felt a bit like a kid again with the new level of challenge that it added. I'll come back to that. The other thing is actually the opposite though, this first level right here. If you haven't noticed, I get a huge kick out of steamrolling this first stage with the boss weapons. If the video I mentioned earlier makes a great point about how well designed a tutorial this is, playing it again with all the weapons is a full-blown
Power trip.
like, seriously, check out this big B-bot get obliterated in one blast.
Shoot me down if you can.
And at this point, Sigma's gotta be thinking,
You wouldn't be trying to give yourself a bogus score using some ingenious trick, would you?
and X is just like,
I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move.
word of warning though, the first time I tried to pull this off, it wasn't much of a pro game. Yeah, you can get stuck. Luckily, you can still run back and die. Your game isn't soft-locked. Now, the other point, and arguably more exciting part. While this first level is a bit more accessible to mess around in, I didn't realize just how far you could take this glitch. I wanted to present uncut footage of the glitch for the first part of the video, so you could see exactly what happens. Before I show the second fight with Vile,
Actually, like my seventh.
I'm gonna stop goofing around for a moment and describe my experience in this new challenge mode.
Time to get serious. Time to get serious.
Let me say right away, there are no impassable obstacles without the boots. You can absolutely complete the game this way. There will be some items you can't get, but nevertheless, when you defeat all the Mavericks, you'll move on to Sigma's Fortress. So, you can see I created a save state here, which turned out to be lucky. If you choose to do this as well, for your own sanity, I recommend using them. It is a bit of a challenge run, so don't cheese the game, but there are resets that are kind of hard to avoid. These hat guys right here, and anything else it seems that creates those circles that clash with the X-Buster, have the potential to freeze the game. However, once you've begun Sigma's Palace, it no longer sends you to the intro level, thankfully. This did have some unintended side effects on my gameplay, but I'm getting ahead of myself. If you saw my health in a lot of those clips, it was often kinda low. It's pretty clear there's a lot of places you were meant to be able to cover ground rapidly that became much more difficult without it. It feels a bit like a Metroidvania where you never get any movement upgrades. Even though the regular levels can't require the dash, there's a lot of places I was used to just breezing through. Sometimes without it, you are pretty much at the game's mercy. Vertical sections with large gaps were especially hard to traverse without being able to dash kick off the wall. As a result, I utilized the boss's weapons far more regularly. Typically, I'm happy using the X-Buster 99% of the time, because it's awesome. However, the tough enemy placement without the dash, combined with the tendency for the X-Buster to cause the resets, increased my knowledge of strategic ways to overcome particular enemies. I had to rely on them so heavily, I found myself needing to farm resources sometimes, not only for boss weapon ammo. As I showed, you can't get all the heart tanks if you commit to a no boots run. Also, the armor upgrade explicitly states that you take half damage. I don't have that, so sub-tanks were a must. It didn't help that the health drops are bugged too. You pretty much have to catch them. I'm not sure what's up there, but hey, more challenges welcome. There were a few spots I was worried that would end the run, but it turns out that none of the jumps require the dash. It was pretty close though. I've heard of this, but never seen it before, where Zero gives you his cannon. Story-wise, this is much cooler and more thematic. However, I'm not sure if I ever could have beaten the game as a kid without the vertical tornado strike and the chameleon invul. Just for proof, here's the conclusion of the game. They give you one last middle finger, showing that you had the boots the whole time. It's all forgiven though, there's one tiny final cherry on top. I'll show you at the end of the video. It's just the perfect capstone for the display of this glitch. The last thing I'll mention here is that a few days before finishing this video, I was browsing 4chanV and came across a thread calling Mega Man X flawless. Figured it would be filled with some hardcore Mega Man fans. Surprisingly, I only saw 2 people mention a no boots challenge run, and when questioned, they didn't follow up on their methods. With the help of a save state, I tried every method I could to get through or over the capsule, but just don't see how it's possible. I have the feeling it's just a troll, but let me know in the comments if you know anything about that. Passwords can get you into a similar situation, but half the fun for me was seeing what breaks and what else bugs out as a result. One time the airship spawned like 6 cars before I got to fight Vile. Just weird things like that. But speak of the devil, it's about that time. Catch you at the end of the video.
Let's see what you've got.
I hope you got some enjoyment out of this. Pretty much my first YouTube video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to yourself, tell your watch that, and have a great day.